Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am slowly Parody, and I'm back with another video. This video is a bit different to the videos I would usually have done, and this is a Premier League Team of the Season prediction on the players that I feel like are gonna get Team of the Season this year, based on their performances. And we're gonna start off straight away, and straight away the first player that I feel in the Premier League is going to get themselves a team of the season is none other than Kasper Schmeichel. Leicester the season are obviously absolutely flying in the league. They're top of the league, like by 7 points at this current moment in time of making the video. They beat Sunderland 2-0 yesterday, and Tottenham beat Man United 3-0 yesterday. But for me, Kasper Schmeichel this season has been one of the best goalkeepers that the Premier League has seen for a while, in terms of just how well he's played. And also, he's not that red card. He's not really a player that you'd think he would have, but he's got some very good stats. When he gets his team of the season, I think he's going to be about an 81, 82 rated, and he'll have about 85 diving, about 87 reflexes, about 80 handling, 90 kicking, about 80 positioning, about 50 speed. But he'll be a good card on FIFA. I think he'll be quite cheap. And we move on to the right back position, which the right back for me, who's going to be in the team of the season, is Hector Bellerin. As you can see here, he actually started out as a 73, I thought, and he got himself an inform, an upgrade, and another inform, and he's just been on fire this season. Hector Bellerin, he has been one of the best players in what has been a relatively underperforming Arsenal side, which they do every year really. But Hector Bellerin has been phenomenal this season for Arsenal. Considering he's only, if I'm 18 and he's about 20, I think he's about 20, 21. Considering he's 21, he's keeping players like Matteo Debuchy out of the team, and Callum Chambers out of the team. He's doing fantastically well, but he's extremely quick, and I feel like he's going to have 99 pace in his card. He's going to have about 85, 86 defending, 77 physical, about 85 dribbling, about 80 passing, and about 60 shooting. So that is going to be a seriously good right back card for the Premier League, and I think that is going to be a really expensive card in that position. We then move on to the first of the centre back partnership, and I think this one is pretty much a guarantee to be in here. And that is none other than Robert Huth, who has had a fantastic season so far with Leicester City. There is a couple of Leicester City players featured in this, in the first team and the reserves, just because of how good a season they have in, and without these players they wouldn't have been able to come this far. But the Leicester City squad, it is the entire squad that's done well. It's not just these few players that are in this team, it is everyone across the team. But these are the players I'm picking out and saying that I feel like they've done the best this season. So Robert Huth, his last in form, had 45 pace, 82 defending, and 86 physical, and the other stats aren't really that important. But he's 6'3", medium high work rate, right foot. He is a very good centre back on FIFA. Okay, the pace isn't very good, but on this FIFA I feel like pace isn't too big a thing, unless you're playing against the front three of like a Aubameyang and Lacazette in form or something like that. But the likeliness is not going to come up against that very often, and Robert Huth is a solid centre back in this game, especially his inform is quite cheap. So I feel like he's going to go to an 85 rated team of the season, maybe an 84. He'll have around 50 pace, he'll have around 50 dribbling, he'll have about 70 shooting, which is pretty good for a centre back really. His heading is going to be very good. He'll have around 55 passing. I think he's going to have about 92 physical, and I think he's going to have about close to 90, about 88 defending, close to 90. And I feel like he'll be quite a cheap card because of that poor pace. But he will probably be the best team of the season centre back that is going to be out there. Here's the next one coming up, and this is another one who their team's just performed fantastically well this season, and that is Alderweireld. When Alderweireld played in the Premier League last season, he played for Southampton, and he had a really good season. But this season, he's come to Tottenham and he's stepped up tenfold. He has been absolutely incredible at Tottenham. He scored 4 goals this season, I believe, for Tottenham. And you look at those stats as a card on FIFA, he's got a great card on FIFA. 4-star weak foot for a centre back is pretty good. 6'1" is pretty good, and then 63 pace isn't too slow. 63 dribbling is pretty good. 59 shooting for a centre back is pretty good. 67 passing is pretty good. 83 defending is very good, and 79 physical is decent. So his team of the season card, I'm guessing, is going to be about an 86, 87 rated. He'll have about 70 pace, which will be a beast of a card if he's got 70 pace. He'll have about 70 dribbling, about 65 shooting. I imagine he'll have 72 passing, close to 90 defending, and close to 85 physical. Maybe 85 physical, or maybe just a little bit above. But Alderweireld's card is going to be incredible this year on FIFA. It's going to be so good. And that is going to go for a bomb of money. It's going to be so expensive just because of that 70 pace, that 90 defending, and that 85 physical is going to be ridiculous. And the shooting, the passing, the dribbling is all going to be on there as well. So he's going to be a real good player. And then we go across to the left back position, and obviously we have Danny Rose. Danny Rose this season has been, again, he's been like, there's not really that many players in the Premier League that I feel have done that well. We'll quickly look across at the left backs, and the usual culprit should be in team this season. He's been injured. He's underperformed. Morale's pretty good, but not to the standard that Rose is playing at. And none of the left backs this season have really performed. So even if Rose hadn't performed as well as he had, it would still go to him because he has just been fantastic this season. When you look at that card, and he's going to have a solid left back card. He's going to be about an 82 rated, which is a little bit lower than Bellerin, but that's still alright for him. So he'll have about an 82 rated card. He'll have about 90 pace, and then all of his other stats, other than shooting, will sit at around 80. In passing, defending, dribbling, and physical, will sit at about 80, and his shooting will probably sit at about 65. So not a bad card. If he doesn't get a team of the season card and they put someone else in, I feel like he'll definitely get a most consistent card just because he hasn't got an inform this season. That same thing could go for Alderweireld if they chose not to put him into the team of the season for the Prem. He'll get a most consistent because he has just been fantastic this season. And now we move on to the right midfield, and it's kind of obvious who this guy's been. He's been involved in the most goals this season. He has been an absolute wizard for Leicester City this season, and it is none other than Riyad Mahrez. That card, pretty sure is an inform. Yeah, it is an inform. But this is the card we're going to go off because that is his most recent card. You look at those stats already, and that's a pretty good card. 82 rated. And I think he's going to get a massive bump up with this team this season. And I think he's going to go to about an 87, 88. Just because of how well he's played this season. He has been probably the best Premier League player this season. Maybe other than Jamie Vardy, but I feel like he's still been probably the best. So Mahrez, his card is going to be insane this year on FIFA. And he's going to have about 91 pace, 90 shooting, 90 passing, 75 physical, and 95 dribbling with like 45 defending, which doesn't really matter. But yeah, 90 pace, 90 shooting, 90 passing, 95 dribbling, and 75 physical. He's going to be a machine. His card will go for so much, simply because of the fact that A, he plays for Leicester, B, he'll have ridiculous stats, and C, it's Mahrez. Because he plays for Leicester, it's just all the Leicester players this season have just been stupidly bumped up for prices, but that is completely down to the season having. And the next person we go to is a Cam playing at centre mid. It's not Mesut Ozil. Oh, not in the right league. And it is Dimitri Payet. Dimitri Payet this season, if you haven't watched Premier League football, you have been living underneath a rock if you had not heard. This guy has been fantastic this season. He has been head and shoulders the best player in the Premier League this season. He has been so good. just creating goals, scoring goals like all the time in every game. He's just been the best player that, and I think he's a free transfer as well. His card is going to be absolutely incredible on obviously you're going to have a lot of people playing him at striker simply because he's going to have a bit of pace, insane shooting, insane dribbling, and insane passing. So Dimitri Payet's card is going to be a cam, maybe a centre forward, maybe a left mid or right mid. We don't quite know yet. He just sort of floats around in that area, but he does like to play very central. But we have some influence on the left and right hand side this season, and every now and then get him on the striker and play him as a centre forward or a striker. So this season he's going to have about 85 pace, he'll have 90 dribbling, he'll have about 90 passing, and 86, 87 shooting, with I imagine about 76 physical and 50 defending, which doesn't really matter. But he'll be about an 87, 88 rated, and that 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot, high medium work rate is going to be key for him. He's going to be such a good player in FIFA. If you can get these two in a team together, that's just going to be so creative. With maybe one of these guys in the back, if you can get Bellerin, Jesus, you're going to have an insane team in your hands. Moving on to the next guy, and this guy has been fantastic this season. He is probably been the best midfielder other than Mahrez, and that is none other than N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante this season has been absolutely phenomenal for Leicester. He has something ridiculous, like the most interceptions, the most tackles, the most distance covered. He has been everywhere for Leicester, and they picked him up for like 600k. So he's been just head and shoulders the best player. He's got a really poor card on FIFA in terms of his rating, so his card's not going to be ridiculously high rated, but it's going to be insane. He's going to have 85 pace. He's going to have about 85 pace. He's going to have about 80 dribbling, 80 defending, 80 physical, 80 passing, and 75 shooting. He's going to have one of the most well-rounded cards. If you put a +10 attribute card on him, he's going to have like 95 pace, like 90 dribbling. He's going to be like Ruud Hillet, just smaller. So he's going to have an insane card. Just wanted to just keep the Leicester link going. But you can see that the Leicester core of this team, we've got a goalkeeper, a centre-back, a centre-mid, and a right mid. We then move on, it's not Demar Gray. We then move on to the left mid, who is none other than Mesut Ozil. Ozil's played too well this season for me to keep him out of the team, but I don't think he's played well enough to knock these two out of the centre midfield spot. Mesut Ozil has been on fire this season. He has been absolutely immense. I think he's already beaten I think he's close or already beaten the assist rating, or for most assists in the season or something like that. But he has just been incredible this season for Arsenal. He was bought in for like 42.5 million like a couple of seasons ago, and he isn't underperformed, but he hasn't performed to what Arsenal fans would have wanted. But he's starting to show why he's 42.5 million, going on to 50, 60 million pounds worth of player, because he has just been incredible. And his card is going to match that. He's going to have about a 93, 94, maybe 95 rated card. About 80 pace, 95 dribbling, about 86 shooting, almost 99 dribbling. If he doesn't have 99 dribbling, I'll be surprised. With 67 physical and maybe like a 30 defending. But his card is going to be very good. He's going to be 6 foot. With 80 pace, you can play him at centre mid if you put a defending card in him or a physical card in him. 4-star skills, 2-star weak foot. The 2-star weak foot's not too good, but I mean, he is Mesut Ozil, and he has literally, if you've used him on FIFA, you can just find a pass from anywhere. He is just insane. And if you can have that midfield, that is just going to be destructive. Maybe not Kante, but if you put in a +10 attribute card in him, it'll be alright. But it'll be quite a short midfield, as they're all relatively short. Then we move to the strikers. One of the strikers is just obvious, and that is Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy, the success story that everyone's wanted to hear. A player coming up from League 2, performing fantastically well. And I know it's an 82 rated card there, and that's his record breaker card, but I think they're going to have to give him a seriously good card. And I think he's going to be hitting the 90s. I think he's going to be hitting 88, 89, 90 this season, just because of Leicester's performances, his performances, and how good he's played. I think he's going to be hitting that 90 rated card this season, and he's going to be a top player this season. I feel like he's just going to hit the 90, and should he hit the 90, he's going to have about 99 pace. He's going to have about 90 dribbling. He's going to have about 90 shooting. He's going to have about 80 passing, about 90 physical, and like 70 defending. He is going to be the best all-round striker we've probably seen on FIFA Ultimate Team for a while, and that really completes off that Leicester sort of five, the Leicester five. And I'm not taking anything away from all the other players, because all the other players have done their bit this season, but it's just those five have been the standout players in their team, and they have been the top players. And then we go back to another Spurs player up front, which is Harry Kane, who's the top scorer in the Premier League at the moment, and he's again performing very well. So you got it kind of shows from the team that the top three all have the players in there. You got Ozil and Bellerin, and then you've got Hoof, Kante, Mahrez, Vardy, and Schmeichel, with Alderweireld, Rose, and Kane, and then obviously you've got Payet, who's just performed fantastically well, and that's why West Ham are up at 5th, because he's performed so well. Take nothing away from the rest of the team, but he has just performed so well. If he didn't have their goals, his ability on the pitch, his chance creation, they wouldn't be where they were, but they are. Then we move on to Harry Kane. Harry Kane's going to have a seriously good card this year on FIFA. High work rate, and he's going to be seriously good. He's going to have about 85 pace, 90 dribbling, 95 shooting, 90 physical, about 90 passing, and 55 defending. 6'2", high work rate, 3-star weak foot, 3-star skill move. He's going to be about a 90 rated card as well. He is going to be so fun to use on FIFA, just because he's going to have so much strength, so much pace, everything about him. Then we move to the goalkeepers, or the bench. And I'm going to quickly speed through these ones just because obviously the video's getting on a bit now. For the bench players, they tend FIFA just to go. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Is we're just going to what we're going to do for the bench is we're just going to up all their stats by 5, and we'll up their rating by 5. So that means David De Gea will go to a 92 rated, and obviously you can figure out that he'll be a 95 diving, 96 reflexes, 80 or 90 handling, 91 kicking, 92 position, 56 speed keeper. However, this is the one that I was stuck on. It's going to be between him and Lloris, so I can't make up my mind on which one's better, because they've both had really good seasons, and for me, I feel like whichever one of those two doesn't get in the team of the season, I feel like one of them, or these three, doesn't get in the team of the season, is going to get in the they're going to get a look at who's got an inform. Okay, so yeah, whichever one of these three doesn't get in the team of the season is going to get in the most what's it called? The most consistent 11. We then move on to the next sub, which I am a Liverpool fan. I don't feel like this is too like bullshit, because I feel like he has actually played really well this season. That was Nathaniel Klein. I've watched most Liverpool games, and every single game he has been, even when we played bad, he has been one of the players on the pitch that has played very well whilst we've been playing bad. He's never really had a poor game. He's always played very well in the games, and he's always got like above a 7 rating, and that's just why I feel like he's been very good this season for Liverpool. He wasn't good enough to not Bellerin in that team, hence why Bellerin's in that team over him, but he has been very good for Liverpool, and one of a few Liverpool players in the team, but yeah, he has just been very good, and as you can see from those two players, he's going to be a 90 rated keeper, and he'll be about an 86 rated right back, who would actually probably be better than Bellerin if you didn't want pace, but you could always just go, well, I can just put one of these at centre back, because they'll both have good enough jumping to play centre back even though they're short, and just play them with like a Robert Hoof next to them on Alderweireld, and they'll be fine. We then move on to the next defensive player, and that is obviously going to be Chris Smalling, the man who has had an absolute revelation this season and played probably the best he's ever going to play in his life. and his card is going to be ridiculous. He's going to be about an 87, 88 rated centre back. He's going to have 85 pace-ish. He's going to have about 85 pace with 75 dribbling, 65 passing, 40 shot, which is poor, but he's going to have about 90 defending and physical. He is going to be the most overpowered centre-back we've ever seen on FIFA, I think, just because of how fast, strong, good defending, good passing, good dribbling he's going to have. He is going to be ridiculously good. I would have put him in over Robert Huth or Alderweireld, but they both played way too well, or way too good to be knocked out of the team by him. And he's just been head and shoulders the best player in United squad, other than De Gea this season. There's not really any United players that top end that have performed too well. We then move on to the midfield, and as a Liverpool fan, I've watched a lot of football this season, and who would I be to not put this man in? Roberto Firmino has been really good since he came to Liverpool. He took a little bit of a slow start to get going, but since Klopp took over, he has just been on fire. At one point, he was the top assist or top goal contributor in the league, and he was so good. He'll have about an 88 rated card, with some good stats, including 90 dribbling in there. So he's going to be a good little player to have. The next one is another Liverpool player that I don't personally feel he deserves one, but FIFA always like to bump this guy up, and I feel like Coutinho's going to get one. I don't feel like he deserves one, because he hasn't really performed well enough to deserve one, I don't think, over the course of the season. He's scored a few goals, he's done obviously some fantastic things this season, but I don't feel like he's a player of he should be in the team of the season. He's not been a player of the season. If it was my choice, I'd have Firmino and Klein in there, and Coutinho wouldn't like be in this team. But I just feel like FIFA quite like Coutinho, and they quite like giving him forms where he's not really done too much, and I feel like he's going to get in this season, just because he is Coutinho, and he just performed so well in games, and then other games will just sort of fizzle out and won't really do anything. But he is a magician, and he is a very good player, and there's no one doubting that, but it's just whether he can start doing it on a more permanent occasion. But he'll have a seriously good card. It'll be about a 90 rated card, but again, not good enough to knock any of the players that are currently in the first team out, on basis of how well they played this season to basis how well he played. And he'll have about 90 pace, 95 dribbling, 85 shooting, 80 or 90 passes. He's going to be a ridiculously good card. And if he's playing at left mid, fair enough, you'll have a good left mid to use. If he's playing at cam, you'll have a good cam to use. Whatever he plays at, he's going to be good. And then we move to the last two, and that is the last one, or this one, is Everton's Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku has been ridiculously good this season. I think he's the third top scorer in the Premier League, or fourth top scorer in the Premier League, and he's just been a beast. He's been Everton's best player by a country mile. He's just been stupidly good. He has been so good this season for Everton, and you can see from there he's going to be about an 89 rated player. And he has some great stats on him. The final one is Kun Aguero. Kun Aguero, every single season gets team of the season on FIFA. I don't imagine that's going to stop this season, but I will not agree or be happy if he's in the starting 11, because he hasn't been good enough to be in the starting 11. He has been good enough to deserve a team of the season, but he hasn't been good enough to deserve a starting 11 spot over Kane and over Vardy, because obviously they're both above him in goals, and they're both better than him this season. That doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that they're better players than him in general, but it means that they've been better than him this season. But his card's going to be stupidly good. It's going to be about 95 rated again, about 99 pace, about 99 dribbling, about 99 shooting, about 80 or about 90 passing, and about 80 to 85 physical. He's going to be stupidly good, like he is every single year on FIFA. And the final one that I feel like he could sneak in, he might not. It depends on how many people they do on the bench or what. Is Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley's had a good season for Everton, and his card will be quite good. It'll be about 86 rated, with everything sitting at around 85, other than his dribbling, which will be about 90. And he'll be a solid card to use. You can put him at centre mid, you can put him at centre defensive mid if you needed to, and put him with a defending card on. But he will be a solid player if he does get a team of the season card. And I'm sure that he'll be banging some long range goals in for some people with that 3-star weak foot and that 5-star skill. 5-star weak foot and that 3-star skill move. He'll be banging some goals in this season on FIFA for things. But that's what will wrap up the rest of this video, guys. If you don't agree with any of these players, let me know in the comments. If you do agree with these players and you think that I've got all of them right, let me know. Let me know your team of the season, or let me know if you do agree who you swap out. I'd love to hear your feedback on what you feel and who you feel's been good. Because you might be like a Watford fan and be like, well, Troy Deeney's played really well this season. Why hasn't he got one, or Garlo? Which is completely understandable. They've both been fantastic. But this is just my personal opinion on who should get a team of the season, and who will get a team of the season. So that's my predictions. Let me know in the comments, guys, and I'll see you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.